From mixtapes to mad ideas, Dhruv Shanker's hustle is all heart. Today we cook my signature braised pork belly, Dong Po Rou, on HOTPLATE SG60. Welcome, Dhruv, to HOTPLATE SG60.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
The most fascinating thing I find about you is that you are very driven. You have so many ideas, and some of them pretty crazy. Okay? And yet, you are able to have a purpose. Now, I've seen people with great purpose, and they usually are very serious people. It's too serious. And they're very focused on, say, okay, I'm only doing one thing in business. I'm just selling gaskets, but you're selling everything. And yet you have a sense of fun and you're constantly coming up with more ideas. How do you do that?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Some of them are definitely crazy, and my wife will attest to that. And keeps me on the straight and narrow sometimes. One thing that drives me is just living an interesting life. Okay, I genuinely believe that if someone has a list of things that they want to do in life,
Bucket list, right?
the bucket list, right? If you've got a bucket list, it is up to you to go and start checking those things off the list. The quality of life, right, really matters. A lot of people wait to start enjoying their life after they retire. I'm not about that. I'm about enjoying every minute of it. Let's live every minute and enjoy it and do all the things that you want to do, right? And it doesn't always have to be fun. It's a very personal thing. Mine just happened to be fun. But if there's something that has some significance to you, right? And it's always been on your mind and you've been wanting to do it. Because life is uncertain. And, this is not Mario Kart. You don't get multiple chances at this. So take a shot, find the time and do it.
I like this. I mean, this is a great philosophy. But you see, a lot of people want what you have. In a sense, they want to be able to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
First, you're your own boss. 2, you have multiple businesses. 3, you're your own man. Okay? You don't have to answer to anyone. 4, as the world gets worse in terms of the stock market and all that, AI, there will be job losses, which will force a lot of people into either driving for Grab, gig jobs, which is, unless you like it. Let's share, say, 3 big secrets as to how to have what you have.
All right. Let me just tell you about my story and where this came about from, right? This whole thing about being a side hustler and having a lot of multiple things, multiple sources of income, right? It was born out of necessity. So I moved to Singapore about 12 years ago and I came here for work and I had a great job. I was working for a good company and everything was fine until it was not. So I ended up making a bad career decision. I joined a company which shut down very, very unexpectedly. And, like they say, the rug got yanked out from under your feet. And I think that's when, that wonderful, happy time where you're living, you move to a new country, everything's new and like new friends. And then it's
and a corporate job, which you think is secure.
The corporate job, all of that is secure. And then that bubble pops, right? And then you realize that, hey man, as a foreigner, I only have a very short amount of time now to find my next thing. I really had to do something. I could not sit around just waiting for for my LinkedIn message to just pop up. And at that time, I started trying everything I could to make a living, right? So I tried my hand at running an e-commerce business. So you talked about the gig economy, right? As a foreigner, it's not that easy for you to just go and start driving Grab. It's so hard to even get a license.
Yeah, you can't.
That was one thing. That was an obstacle. So I thought maybe let me try and sell something online. And I gave it a shot. I tried to sell my own line of Garam Masala. I gave it a shot. It didn't work. Okay? It didn't work. But I feel like the learning I got then helped me much later. it's one thing to make money and it's one thing to get your finances back on track. But what do you do to get your mind back on track? I'd always like to look at the brighter side of life. I'm a chef. If I end up burning the food, I want to say that, hey man, at least it's not raw. You know what I mean? So, but this one did a number on me. I started feeling quite low. And I decided to do one thing to raise my spirits. And for me, food has been that lifter, uplifter of spirits. So I said, okay, let me start cooking again. Maybe let's see what this content creation thing is about, right? So I tried some things in e-commerce and I started cooking again. I tried my hand at content creation. And that was slowly the beginning of trying multiple things. Along the way, I said, what if I try a cooking class? Let me try and show people how to do it.
The first tip I think we can share with our viewers is resilience. Resilience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't let it get you down, although it's a very big thing. I mean, especially if you are not an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur by chance. You were forced into it.
My first thing I ever did was actually when I was in school. So I started making mixtapes when I was in school. And not a very creative name, but I used to call them Dhruv's Grooves. Okay. So Dhruv's Grooves was a mixtape of all the hot and happening music. I'd borrow, cassettes from people. I'd make mixtapes, and Dhruv's Grooves went till volume 4, by the way. It was quite. And then I started selling them. In school to other students, like it was like me selling it out of my school bag. And then so Dhruv's Grooves, went on, and I had a style, this thing where, I would mix all the pop songs, whatever was going on. But my signature thing was I would include like a movie theme, like the Mission Impossible theme, for example, right? No, and that's a little small piece of music. But you're not going to find that on a mixtape.
I assume copyright wasn't enforced much.
Copyright? What copyright? I don't know. I had the right to copy, if you know what I mean. But that was my very first side hustle.
I mean, I can't get over this. This is brilliant. Floppy disk coaster, genius.
Never forget. And for me, it's just a little bit. I use them as coasters now for my private dining and whatnot. But for me, it's a little bit of a nod, to the fact that, like, hey, this was part of my journey as well. I worked in a tech company. I don't know, somehow I was a chef who ended up working at tech companies. I used to work in a call center selling this stuff. For me, these are little things that remind me of the story, kind of keep me grounded.
This is your latest concoction, the spices. Tell us about that.
This was one of the side hustles I tried when I lost my job the first time, and I just thought it would make sense. While I only sold about, I think, maybe 100 of them.
That's not bad.
It's okay. Could have been better because I made 500 of them. But the lesson there, right, was, again, how do you start an e-commerce business in Singapore? What does that mean? What does it mean for an individual to go and open a shop on Shopee and Lazada and Redmart and all
Absolutely.
that? What do they mean? How do you get this thing done, right?
Tell us.
Yeah, so first off, you make a product like this and, it's going to be lovely, and all your friends and your well-wishers are going to say, great, man, looks amazing.
And they'll buy,
they'll support you for the first thing. You'll go and do an Instagram post about it. You'll get all the likes in the world from that uncle of yours whom you haven't seen for the last 40 years. But for something to be commercially viable, right? The art of getting it fully licensed for sale, get your expiry dates in place, get it approved by the SFA, getting the product itself ready for sale in Singapore. That was one lesson I learned. Apart from that, just working with these marketplaces, right? What does it take from a logistics standpoint? Packing these things, shipping them. It's all very different. Now you can work for the largest e-commerce company in the world. But until you've been a seller yourself, until you have packed it, until you have labeled it and gone and left it at 7-Eleven, or you've gone and shaken hands with the delivery guy, you don't know how to do it. And for me, that was the lesson. So while I do run 6 e-commerce stores today, the lessons I got were from that failed Garam Masala store that I tried running back in the day.
So previously there was only madness. Now there is method to your madness.
Now there is method to my madness.
So the second lesson is to have creativity and guts. Third lesson to share is that there must be reality. You got to learn actually how to run a business. Otherwise, it's or else, look, these are pretty logos and they look lovely. But it's got to make money. How did you print them? Did you get the best quote for them?
Absolutely.
Which is
these boxes.
I mean, it does take a lot of the romance out of that initial big idea, right?
It does.
Calling up the supplier, asking them how much the sticker is.
Exactly.
But beyond the businesses, which you already have a lot of fun in, you also have interesting hobbies like your motorcycle trip, right? What was that?
So I used to live in Delhi before moving to Singapore, and North India, fairly easy to do a road trip up to the mountains. And for the mountains, I mean the real mountain, the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And there's like plenty.
Not Bukit Timah, right? not.
That's a beautiful place as well, but not quite the Himalayas. But no, that's really how I started exploring India. And like I think just even if it's a short trip, right, few hundred kilometers, I would find that hitting the road would be quite a relaxing experience. And I think cooking has always been a part of my travels. It continues to be so. Cooking on the go, right? That is something special. Because the ingredients
it has something to do with a helmet, right?
Helmet. Yeah, the way the story started was that a bunch of us took off on a road trip and we stopped at a very small farmhouse along the way. Okay, and this was a farmhouse that, it just had some very basic stuff there, and it was still under construction. And there was no kitchen as such. There weren't too many dishes. And because I'm the chef in the group, that responsibility comes on to me. So I said, okay, fine, one of you guys go get the chicken. And then we managed to get a really good country chicken. But then we realized we had no utensils, right? There was only, there was nothing there. And so while the next guy was going to go out and find something to cook in, right? I said, look, let me at least marinate this thing. And I have always had a habit of traveling with a little bit of, my little box of spices, whether it's here or not. Italy or North Korea, wherever, right? I've always had a little bit of spices.
That's incredible.
So I had this with me.
You're a true chef, right?
So then, and ginger and garlic, you can just get it fresh from there. I just put this together, but I didn't have a utensil. I didn't have anything. So what I did was they're all bikers. I said, listen, I'm going to take one of these helmets. I lined it with a plastic bag and I marinated the chicken in the helmet.
It wasn't your helmet.
It was not my helmet. It was the guy.
Somebody
else's helmet. Because as much as I love the road and all of that, I do not like a helmet that smells of raw chicken. But so anyway, the guy who wanted the chicken the most volunteered his helmet. And that's basically what happened. So I marinated this thing and it's been a fun story. And eventually we managed to get a pot from somebody and some cooking supplies. But that we just had to call that thing helmet chicken. The name was just right there, So
do you have that recipe? Do you cook it with the helmet now or without the helmet?
No, without the helmet. With the helmet, if I'm deep frying, for for safety purposes. But no. The funny thing is, helmet chicken became extremely popular on my blog. I put it up. I put up the recipe. See, the helmet doesn't even have to have a visor. It's okay.
So let's go through photos. And tell us what you're doing. You're also famous for being able to do a mean barbecue, right?
Yes. You have to come out of culinary school in India knowing how to work all the kitchens. In some ways, this represents my entire experience with Singapore itself. I did not know what this was until I moved to Singapore, and then I saw that look, people are able to do barbecues in smaller settings. They're electric. There's so many different kinds. So I teach people how to do a couple of curries. You can see me roasting an eggplant there. This was a really fun day. Yeah.
Is Singapore a good place, easy place to start a business in and be successful?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely an easy place to start a business. But I will say this, do your business planning first because it's an expensive place. The economics of Singapore are something that you cannot take lightly because it could end up costing you a lot of money if you don't plan it right. Can you do it? Absolutely. You can totally do it. Just be flexible and, all entrepreneurs end up having to do this. They end up having to pivot at some point. So be open to making pivots. Be open to doing things that are slightly out of the box. Singapore has this reputation for being very, very rigid, if I may use that word, but it's not so. You will have to navigate, things change very fast. Okay. So if you have to reprioritize, refocus your efforts, be open to doing that. And then, it will reward you.
Second question. Is Singapore now home for you? Is it a good place to raise a family? That's two questions, sorry. Yeah.
Singapore has been home to me for 12 years now. I love being here. I feel like I've made a lot of good friends.
You are a new father, right? So
Yes. Yeah. I became a dad to twins just 4 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Do I feel at home in Singapore? I actually do. My businesses are the other things apart from my family, right, that I really, really love. And I feel like Singapore is what turned me into an entrepreneur, a real entrepreneur. Like the
Made you
mixtapes and all of those fun
allowed
things
you to
were
find
there.
your true calling, right?
Yeah.
If you had this corporate job, you'd still be slogging away and worrying
And
about.
nothing wrong with a corporate job. Like eventually I did actually go back to a corporate job.
Okay.
But side hustles, right? You do some to make money, you do some to keep you happy. Singapore is what enabled that, right? My barbecue business that I just showed you about.
Okay.
I have a team of chefs that I found, local older ladies who now are part of my team. They're all 60 plus and they're wonderful cooks.
Yeah.
I train them up. Again, I met these people.
Yeah.
They're my team.
And you're giving back to Singapore, right?
They're helping me and I'm helping them too. So it's a great partnership.
Fantastic. Okay, you're hungry? Let's go cook. We got to cook for our dinner, man.
Yeah, always hungry. Let's do it.
We're going to make one of my favorite slow-braised pork dishes, Dong Po pork. I've boiled the pork, then squeezed it dry, and then I've deep fried it just for a bit to remove the porkiness.
Yeah.
So this is actually the secret to a good Dong Po pork.
Dong Po Rou was first braised in China's Song dynasty, brought here by Fujian migrants in the 1800s, a rich, festive favorite I love to cook.
First, we need to put together the seasoning. So this is dark soy sauce.
Soy, okay.
This is some light soy. Okay. This is another type of dark soy, and this is 5-spice powder.
Okay.
Okay, just put it in. Mix it together. Instead of sugar, I use honey.
Oh, wonderful.
The other secret ingredient is Shaoxing wine. I know you brought this old monk rum. You use it as a substitute in India?
Yeah, in India we use this as a substitute.
Does it smell similar?
Well, it's definitely got some caramel notes to it.
Okay.
And it's a little sweet.
Okay.
Not exactly like Shaoxing wine.
Yeah.
But it works. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it turns out, your Dong Po pork, also depends very much, actually almost 90% on the quality of your Shaoxing wine. You want a premium one because it really, really makes the difference.
Right.
Now, what we want to do is put the meat in there.
Oh, that is looking great.
We need to put this on the bottom layer.
All right.
Because you're braising it for some time, you want to make sure that should an accident happen, your pork doesn't stick to the bottom. A layer of ginger right on top. Lots of it, liberally.
Lots of it. All right.
A good Dong Po pork should not have any porky smell. That's why we use so much of it. A lot of it. Now, pork goes in. Pour the sauce over.
That's gorgeous.
We're going to add some peppercorns.
Black peppercorns.
Yeah. The rest of the ginger goes on top. And now, we want to drench it with
Some
more
more Shaoxing wine.
wine. Almost a full bottle of. You know the story of Dong Po pork?
No.
It's named after a 1st century Chinese poet called Su Dong Po.
I see.
And apparently he was a very, very avid chess player and a very good chef. He was playing chess. He forgot he had meat cooking on, and the game went on for hours and hours and hours before he finally realized that. When he rushed home and he opened it, he thought, it's going to be a disaster, right? But no, he invented the most wonderful pork dish ever.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Put this on top,
Just to weigh it down.
weigh it down.
Okay.
Just got to balance this on top. It's got to simmer at the lowest possible setting
Right.
for about 3.5 hours.
Okay.
We're going to cook a bok choy, alright? But
Okay.
today we are going to attempt a fusion or with Indian style.
Yeah. All right.
And that's why I got you here as the
All right.
expert. Alright,
Gotta
throw
do
it
it.
straight in, sir.
Chuck it in.
Do you do onions? Usually don't
I do onions.
Yeah.
My favorite thing. It's my
Okay,
thing. It's kind of
onions.
my thing.
Okay, onion.
All right,
onion.
let's do it. Beautiful. In goes the bok choy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, looking good. Now, what do you want to chuck in?
So I would actually do some spices first. This is my garam masala, and my garam masala is pre-roasted. So I roast the spices, cool them down, and then I powder them.
Okay, good.
So these don't need to be cooked again.
Okay, let's put it in.
All right, you heard of that guy called Salt Bay?
Yeah.
Well, get ready for garam masala bay.
Okay.
Okay. Get that in there. But I see that you've got a
Okay.
little bit of cumin here.
Yeah.
And I think that cumin is going to go beautiful
Oh,
with that
beautiful.
garlic. Let's do that.
Okay.
And So you got some chili, man. You gotta have some chili.
Yeah, chili.
You gotta have some chili. I prefer to salt my greens towards the end because that's when the moisture comes out, and then that'll just finish the little bit of. Okay. And salt
beautiful.
Just a little bit. You got some lovely pink salt there. I'm just gonna finish this with a little bit of toasted cumin and coriander.
Yeah.
This is what I put onto my barbecues, but it's again already cooked.
I think it's gonna be great.
Just a hint. Just a hint. And there you can see the salt bringing out the moisture, and that's plenty. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Lovely.
Okay. Ready to eat?
I am looking forward to this.
Our joint creations. Let's see whether it's good.
Gorgeous.
Come, please. It's my guest. Let me serve you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So today I've decided to cook. This is a Indian rice, Sona Masuri
Sona
rice.
Masuri, yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Usually eaten with rasam, right? So I thought, only Asians will realize that there are many types of rice, and different types of rice go well with different types of
food.
cuisine,
Yes,
right?
Yes. But I'm picking up a slightly roasted, almost like a smoky aroma
We
with the
cooked
rice.
it in the clay pot.
Okay, beautiful. And you've lined it with a banana
and
leaf
some
as well.
bananas leaf, yes.
Lovely. So much flavor.
Okay.
Right. Oh, so tender.
Get the sauce.
Gotta get some of that sauce.
Okay, let's go. The fat is the best part. This is what it's all about.
The flavor of the pork belly. Come here. That is just melted down so beautifully. How many hours again, Chris?
3.5 hours.
3.5
Yep.
hours. Wow.
So the sauce has exchanged flavors. The sauce has taken on that intensity of the meat.
There's so much going on. It's
Yeah.
like there's definitely that sweetness in the background. But
But
I think that five spice that you put in, and then of course I'm loving the peppercorns as well.
I'm trying the veg now. Hey, it's very nice, the veg. The way you spiced it.
Very gentle, but very good.
Very good. Well done. True chef, Dhruv.
You too. You know, the trick to garam masala is to use very little of it, not too much. Don't ever let it overpower your dishes. You can always add a little more if you like, but you can't take it out, So
Yep.
I like to use a very, very light hand.
Very nice. Very, very good. I think I'll cook it this way now.
If you were to, I don't see a straw on the table, but if there was a straw, I've just gone in for that sauce.
Wow.
It is really good.
Thank you. Hey, what's the motorcycle about?
A motorcycle, that's a miniature of a bike I used to drive many years ago around India. This is, I've had a lot of road trips on this thing.
Okay.
Driving around the mountains, North India,
What
South
is it?
India.
Is it a Triumph? Was it?
This is a Royal Enfield.
Royal Enfield.
Yeah,
Because
called-
they have a factory in India, right?
Yeah. Also called the Bullet. Quite a fun ride.
Yeah.
And I think the thump of the engine is something that
Yep.
that really is quite signature. But yeah, I've done a lot of driving around, country cooking and those kind of things. So it brings back memories. I don't
Where
have
the helmet chicken happened,
where
right?
the
You were
helmet
on this
chicken
bike,
happened,
right?
yeah.
And what's that? A pressure cooker?
Oh, this is every Indian family's best friend. This is a pressure cooker. And I find that a lot of people don't actually know what it is. Just came in and revolutionized the way Indians cook everything really.
Yeah.
So lentils we cook with a lot of dals.
Yes. You need the speed of
absolutely. So 5 minutes, stay 8 minutes in this. You blast your lentils and then you've got a great meal at the end of it.
Sometimes I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing because traditional Indian cooking takes a long time because it was cooked in clay.
Absolutely.
And the flavors are just amazing. I mean, it tastes so different. Just the cooking vessel itself. And I see that most Indian kitchens nowadays don't cook with clay because they can't deal with the time, right?
Yeah. But I feel like, hit the balance between the two. Because look, I'm all for living a practical life. I mean, you've got to get the family fed and, you've got a job to go to or whatever it is, right? So use the appliances, but then don't let the other things fade away. Definitely have a clay pot. I have a clay pot that I cook at least once a week in. There are also a lot of things that you can start off in a pressure cooker and finish in a clay pot.
You're right.
Finish in a copper bottom vessel. Finish in a beautiful, wok.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that can be done.
The bak choy is perfect with the Dong Po. And the rice goes with it. Usually for this, I would use jasmine or Japanese rice. Actually goes very well with Dong Po because it absorbs all the flavor. But this is also great.
I feel like Sona Masuri is not quite a basmati rice. But it doesn't have to be, It's like it's a medium grain rice.
And it's perfect with rasam.
It is. It is.
Basmati is too long grain and doesn't absorb the rasam.
Doesn't absorb as much. Higher starch content in this one.
Yeah.
And the fragrance. It also has the fragrance in the background. So very nice.
I see you brought some amazing looking desserts. Can you tell me more about this?
So it's called Rabri Clementine. Now, Rabri is a condensed milk dish from India.
Okay.
It's slow cooked. Okay. Now back in the day, which was a Thursday, this dish would take about 5 days to cook. Okay. We'd have two guys cooking, just cooking milk over a massive open air wok.
Yep.
And then the milk would naturally condense.
Yep.
And turn into this lovely creamy dessert. Along the way, you throw some cardamom, some dry fruits, nuts into it, and it turns into something very nice. My little playful riff on this is that I like to use oranges in this. I put some clementines and some tangerines and sometimes some mandarin, but some kind of Asian citrus has to go into it. And I find that makes for a beautiful little fusion. Yeah, let's give it a mix.
Good stuff.
And
okay, let's go.
all right.
Very nice. Very, very nice. I like it.
From Dong Po Rou to Rabri Clementine, we served up flavor, hustle and harmony. If you felt the love, like and share. I'm Chris and this is Hot Plate SG60.
Cheers!
Cheers.